the brain trust is kind of an accidental thing, but that first group of people working on Toy Story had a remarkable rapport with each other, and they were completely candid and open with each other. They had intense discussions, but they weren't personal.
Got it. So you could fight over story elements or just how the project was going, but they would be candid. And you use this word candid a lot in the book. Why is this an important word? Why is this a powerful word?
Well, I try to be careful about terminology because some things are so obvious that as soon as you say the obvious thing, you stop thinking. So you could say, we should be honest with each other. Well, duh, of course we should.
Right.
Okay, so, but the truth is that a lot of times we aren't, and there are reasons why we aren't.
Sure, it could hurt somebody's feelings, or they could pull the plug on the whole project. Anything could happen.
Yeah, so basically the opposite of honest is dishonest.
Ah.
All right? So the lack of honesty is so weighted, it actually screws up the discussion. But if you pull it back so that it's less loaded, like candor, then it's easier to say, well, sometimes I'm not candid. And it's because, I might offend somebody. I might hurt somebody.
Yeah, I don't want to be a downer.
Yeah. Or I'm threatened by somebody, or I'm taking subtle cues that they may emanate from a manager.
Right.
That they don't want me to say something. So I hold back. And that's a problem. Now, it's a problem. It's always a problem. And it's a problem that we still have. I don't want to give the impression like we figured this out because we're using the word candor.
Right.
It's always a problem, but you want to frame it in such a way like there's a reason for the problem. There's a reason why people aren't candid. And if you think of it from their point of view, why are they afraid or what holds them back? Then you can try to address that.
Right.
So, and then it becomes aspirational. We never completely achieve it because we are human beings with strong emotions.
Right.
And we want the emotions. Right? It drives us. But there are consequences of dealing with emotions, and that is things sometimes and frequently actually get screwed up. We will always have that. Our job is to address it, realize, and see if we can remove some of those barriers.
It's such a subtle point you make about, if you use the word truthful, and say, hey, can you just be honest with me? Can you be truthful? You're saying in a way, well, you're not being honest right now. And that's like an offensive thing to say, like, oh, you're lying. You're not being truthful. But if you say candid, it's such a great word because it just sets the context of I'm inviting you to tell me more about the current situation so we can all sort of go in a direction and solve it. And so I use this word candid after I read your book a couple of years ago. And I said, hey, can we just have radical candidates in the company? Because what happens is as you become more successful, people don't want to tell you stuff. It's one of the great traps of being a leader, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The success actually is a pressure towards conservatism.
Explain. I mean, I understand it, but explain it.
Well, okay, so you're doing something right. Like in our case, you make a movie and you've got these different groups
right.
who are making it. And we're making another movie, and each movie is a risk. Who wants to be the first one to screw up?
Right.
Right.
Kill the golden egg. The goose is laying the golden eggs, and I'm going to crack it.
This process works. I'm going to stick with what works. If you've fallen flat on your face and you say, try something new, it's actually easier to do it if you've failed.
Yeah.
But if you've been successful, it's actually a little harder to try something different.
Right.
At the same time, if you don't try something different, you fall behind and you become stale.
Let me tell you about one of my favorite services in the world. It's called Squarespace. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I used to have to go hire a consultant to build a website, and it took months, and it cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And then, when I needed a new feature or I opened it up on my iPhone, it looked terrible. And my whole life revolved around trying to make a beautiful website and had to spend literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars doing that. And then I found out about Squarespace. And if you want to create a beautiful landing page, website, or online store, you can do it on Squarespace for literally just dollars a month. I can't believe how affordable it is. And it's state-of-the-art tech, secure, stable, trusted by millions of people. Some of the most respected brands in the world use it, and I use it for every site. Why? It's beautiful, responsive, and they keep adding features. This is one of the great things about the software as a service movement that you've heard me talk about on our show. They are sitting there with, all of these customers, Squarespace, and then they say, oh, customers, what else do you want? And because they have so many customers, they can build feature after feature, but not raise the price. So it's like you're buying the service. It's like if you bought a car and they just kept adding features to it. Every day you got in your car, there was a new feature. That's what it feels like using Squarespace to me. You can go start a free trial right now. No credit card is required. You can get a free domain if you sign up for a year. So that's a great deal. And when you decide to sign up for Squarespace, use the offer code TWIST, T-W-I-S-T, and you get 10% off your first purchase. I know that many of you don't need to get 10% off your first purchase. You're rich, you're baller, you're expensing this. But please, use the promo code TWIST so they know that you're a super fan of the show. And go ahead, if you really are a super fan of the show, thank @Squarespace on Twitter for making independent media like This Week in Startups possible. It's just a great product. It's a great service. And all of my team knows how to use it. And we can pop up websites all the time for the Launch Incubator, for the Launch Festival, for the Scale Conference. Everything we do, I just pop up a new website, and it looks beautiful. And then I said to my team, hey, can we put a video? I saw somebody put a video in the background of their website. And I thought, that's incredible. You go to a website and it's playing a video in the background? Gorgeous. I want that. And they're like, oh, Squarespace does that. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? They're like, well, we didn't know because they keep adding so many damn features to this product. I said, great. Put on the Launch Angel Summit a picture of Napa. So they bought some stock footage for $50 and the website looks dynamite. For $50 in stock photos or stock video, we put this gorgeous video up. Amazing. And it keeps happening to me. I just love Squarespace. Thank you so much for sponsoring This Week in Startups. I really appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys and gals have been building this great product for so many years and supporting my podcast for so many years. Thank you, Squarespace. Okay, let's get back to this amazing program.